welcome back to the channel here at Camo Crappie, and I'm really excited about the episode we have today, catching these crappie in the dog days of summer. And it has definitely been the dog days of summer. This particular day it was real hot. I definitely was feeling that afternoon heat, but was still just banging on these slabs. But before we get too much into the episode, take a look at what we've been doing. We've been having some great instructional trips out on the water. Been catching some big old slabs, and having a lot of fun. It's been just a great treat getting to take all these different anglers out on the water and let them experience Livescope, and then try to help them learn how to target these better fish. So that's what we've been doing. Been blessed with that here recently, but it's definitely kept us busy and been doing a lot of fishing. But like I said, I'm real excited about this episode. Got some housekeeping things. Remember to subscribe if you're not subscribed. Go ahead and reach up there and hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything, and like I always say, subscribers make the YouTube world go round. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. While I fish there didn't bite, but this next one's going to. And there it is. But you can see catching some good ones. And but yeah, hit the subscribe button. If you're enjoying these videos, hit the like button, and that way we get those likes up. And then share these videos if you know how to. Click the share button, send them to your friends, family, co-workers, other people that you fish with. But yeah, definitely be sharing them. If you have a social media, share it on your Facebook, or I don't know if you can share them on Twitter, but I don't tweet. But you can do your Instagram or your Facebook, and that would be greatly appreciated. We are in August now, and August marks our 1-year anniversary for Camo Crappie, and I'd like to do some big things. Of course, it'd be up to the community, the viewers, as to what that is, but I've been thinking about maybe a giveaway. And if that is something that y'all would like, if y'all would like maybe 1 or 2 giveaways here with, and that was a good fish, just couldn't get it to commit. But if y'all would like a giveaway, let's see if we can't get, let's get this thing up to 1,000 views. That's pretty easy. We normally do that. But the other thing is, let's do a subscriber push. Here comes a good one. There he is. That might have been our intro fish. Yeah, that was a good one. But yeah, let's get these. Right now we're setting it around 920 subs or subscribers. So let's try to push that to 1,000. Let's get that to 1,000. But I'm not gonna put any contemporary thing on it. Let's just say that if you want a giveaway in the next video, let's shoot for 50 comments. Just comment your, let's go with your favorite lake. Everybody has a favorite lake that they like to fish, and if you want in the next video for there to be some type of giveaway, and I'll have to see how that's going to come up, but if you want a giveaway in the next video, it'll probably be something where you have to like, subscribe, or share, one of those kind of deals. But if that's something that you would like here on the channel, then in the comments section, either comment, we want free stuff, or comment your favorite lake. But let's see if we can't get like 50 comments on this next video. That would be cool. And also hit the like button whenever you do that, and see if we can't get some subscribers going up. But yeah, with the 1-year anniversary, I've had a couple of the companies that I've been working with, and that have reached out to me. They're talking about maybe doing some type of giveaway, and they're supportive of that. So if that's something that you as a community would like, go ahead and hit the like button on this video and leave a comment on this video, either your favorite lake or just a comment, we want free stuff. That'd be pretty cool. And that was really cool. I don't know if y'all seen that there or not, but I do want to talk about that. There was some type of predator fish come in there and push that, and I'm going to slow it down and you can even back it up. But watch, right here in this bottom corner, you can see this big fish make a big move and spread them out. And I didn't realize that. I knew when I was fishing something happened, but I didn't see it actually when I was fishing in real time. I thought that seemed real strange that my bait scared them. But no, I've watched it 3 or 4 times. I thought it was really cool. It was actually some type of predatory fish, I believe. May have ate one of them crappie in there. I don't know. Watched it 3 or 4 times. It's hard to really tell, but it definitely looks like it made some type of attacking motion. So I thought that was really cool. And you can see there's several fish on this pile, and had a lot of success on this particular afternoon. I think ended up keeping 15 crappie, and you seen earlier I throwing the big ones back, and I threw at least 3 or 4 back. I believe I ended up throwing probably 5 back, so I probably would have had a limit of 20 that would have been over 9 inches. But and it's hot. I don't know if you can see there on my I was sweating. I don't know if that, I mean that's like an AFTCO type of sun shirt, so it does a real good job of keeping me cool. But I was definitely hot that day. I stayed really good and hydrated, and that's real important when you're fishing in these type of temperatures. We had several days this week that the heat index, we were getting heat warnings. You know, of a heat index, I guess over 104, I believe, is when the warning goes out, and which for some of you that live further south than Kentucky, y'all are used to it on a day-to-day basis. And we get hot days up here as well, but we'd been blessed. Swing and a miss. He come out there after it, and a lot of times when those fish come out there, you have to be coming up with it so you can get a good strong hook set as soon as they come, because a lot of times they're just going to smack at it, and they'll pull your jig down. But it's definitely, see them coming up. I think I snagged, yeah. So I had that coming up method, and I was able to get him. Of course, not probably a keeper fish. I believe it definitely goes in the box, but definitely not as good a fish as what had come up there. Definitely a much better signature on what had come up there. But check this out here, kitty, kitty, kitty. And this was pretty cool. Pretty cool that we were able to capture it, and you could see that fish, bigger signature, there coming into the bottom, and it's just cruising. You can see it coming up, gets attention, swims up, and there it is, and then boom, it took off. It was definitely a lot of fun. And of course, I'm trying to make sure that I don't put too much pressure on the line. I believe I'm either using 8 to a 6 or an 8 pound leader, but I'm definitely not wanting to put too much pressure, and I'm giving him some line right there. And at that time, I don't know that it's a catfish, very highly suspicious. But watch down here in the with the Livescope, see how close it got to getting back into that brush pile. I knew I had to put a little more pressure on it, because I knew I've had them in the past that if the fish gets back into the brush pile, a lot of times they'll hang you up and they're gone. So I began applying a little bit more pressure than what I wanted to, but it was specifically just to keep that fish out of the brush pile. But I'm using a 10-foot Lews speed stick there, and I mean, it's handling it just fine. I didn't stick this, and for those of you that didn't pick up on the here, kitty, 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 it's going to be a catfish. So I'm not sure how, I didn't weigh it. It's, a decent sized little catfish. I mean, nothing for a catfisherman, but on crappie tackle, it was a lot of fun. So I was impressed with the way the rod handled it. I believe that the way that catfish put up a fight, that I'm not gonna have any problems with any crappie off of that rod. Even the big crappie that I've caught, I've never put up they've never made runs and pulls like what that catfish done. So I'm impressed with the little 10-foot rod. And going back to, I guess, the theme of the video, the dog days of summer, it was extremely hot. I started out wanting to go with a bigger profile bait. I caught just a couple fish on it, which I was using my 14-foot rod for that, and very finicky. A lot of short strikes, just tapping it or hitting it. But whenever you'd go set the hook, nothing there. So I ended up dropping down on my profile size bait. I was using the Southern Slab carrot stick. See, boom, popped that dude right at the top of the water. Was able to pull him way up in the water column and get a hold of him. But I was using that carrot stick, which gives you a bigger profile size. And I'll be honest with you, for the last, I don't know, maybe 2 to 3 weeks. I don't want to over exaggerate it, but definitely 2 weeks. I've been having a lot of luck with the bigger profile baits, and using the Southern Slab carrot stick, also using the Crappie magnet, the slab magnet, it's the bigger version, and using the Jinko 3-inch Fry Daddy, I think is what they call it. But been having a lot of success on these bigger style baits. Also, not that the little fish won't eat the bigger style baits, but I have noticed that it may deter some of the smaller fish from biting and able to get in to some of these bigger fish. But on this particular day, the big baits just weren't the ticket. So I downsized, went from a 1/8 ounce head and a 2.5 inch bait down to a 1/16 ounce head and the Southern Slab Crappie Slapper, and it was in the Cosmo color, which is a blue and chartreuse, I believe, or like a blue and green. But it is definitely an interesting color. I don't typically use blue. Actually, before this year, I'd never had a lot of success with blue, but this year I've used blue a couple of times. It's been really just the second time. Now I will say, last February through the beginning of August, I caught a lot of fish on a Bobby Garland bluegrass and went through several packs of those, and then it just played out. And I've caught a few here and there, but it hasn't been the go-to since then. And it was cool because during that same time period, I was watching a lot of YouTube videos, and I was watching people catch crappie in Louisiana, South Carolina. There was several different states, some of them in boats. I was watching one guy, he was catching them all off of spillway using that Bobby Garland bluegrass. So it was kind of cool how that was something that wasn't just on my lake, but I was seeing it in several different places during that time. But it kind of played out as a lot of these different colors will do. It may be hot for a day, it may be hot for a week, it may be hot for 2 weeks. Look at there, we talked him right out of there and got him in the boat. But yeah, it's cool how you never can tell. Some days I have went out and used a bait and it be the fire for one day, and then put it on for the next 2 weeks and not get a bite on it. And then like how we were using the Southern Slab brush, well, the color was brush cutter, which is like a dirty milk and a chartreuse, but it was the Southern Slab I think they're called Spitfire brush cutter, and I caught fish on that. I think I used 3 or 4 packs of it and caught fish for, I don't know, 2 to 3, 4 weeks. They were definitely hot there for a while, and I caught a fish on it Saturday, actually casting, but I was using the same color scheme on this day in a carrot stick, and I caught, I think, 1 fish, but I was getting a lot of short strikes. So switched over, and I don't know what caused me to go with that blue and chartreuse. I just seen it, I thought, I'm gonna stick it on there. and it was the ticket. But that's kind of the thing. You get into these really hot summer days. There's a good fish. You get into these hot summer days, and what'll happen is, the fish, they can do a lot of different things. They could be real aggressive and want a bigger bait, and sometimes that bigger bait, they will attack it, put a pretty good thump on it, which is always fun. But in this particular afternoon, it was real hot. You could see the water's just dead still, and we're definitely way off of, there's not, I think earlier the week before, we were getting a lot of difficulty in the bite, because we had I watched it go from being water temps. See, we got water temps right there at 83 degrees. One week I was doing the Livescope tutorials, and on, I think, Tuesday, it had water temps around 88, 89 degrees. Fish started at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The fish didn't bite till 6:30, and I can't remember exactly what bait we were able to get them to bite on, but it was another really hot day. We had a little bit of air stirring that day, which helped keep us from getting so hot, but it pushed us off to where we didn't get bit for, we were catching some small fish, but we didn't have a keeper on the boat till 6:30 in the afternoon. And then we were very fortunate that from 6:30 till 8 it was on fire, and we ended up leaving with, I think we had 15 good fish. I'm not for sure on the exact number, but we ended up getting into them, and they were biting really well. It was a wonderful afternoon. 2 days later, I went for another instructional trip, and they right off the bat, we started side scanning. Wanted to learn how to use side scan, and we went to one of the very few places on the lake that I haven't side scanned, and we actually found some structure and really good fish on it. So they bit right off the bat, but they were biting a bigger profile bait, and we went through those baits, I wouldn't say quick, but definitely, because they were much more aggressive bites. So we went through a couple of those carrot sticks in the minnow color, but we had some really good fish that afternoon. And you can see here, I'm targeting really good fish off this spot, and got him right there. But there was 2 right before that, probably bigger than this fish, and they just didn't want to have much to. Well, it wasn't they didn't want to have much to do with it. They were just, that's how they get big. They don't bite everything. If they did, somebody had already got them in a skillet. One of the big reasons why, especially in these, and I call it the dog days of summer, I did another video about how we won the state championship, and maybe I'm too honest, maybe I talk too much, giving out how I do it, but I find that whenever you can find a really well balanced rod, and I feel like for this jig fishing, these 10-foot IM8 graphite rods, in which the ones I'm using here are the Lews rods, and they're very sweet, very soft tip, which I think is very important. As I've talked in previous videos, you want that sensitivity. That one there, we just didn't have him. He was not hooked up good enough. He ended up back in the water, so we'll have to go catch him again. But you want it to be sensitive, because you want to be able to feel, just the slightest bit of change. Because these fish, they come up, and a lot of times they'll suck this bait in, but they don't move with it, and you don't really feel a whole lot. A lot of times it's either, of course, if I'm coming up, I'll feel just a little bit of pressure, but there'll be just a slight bit of change in what you're feeling, but it won't be a lot. And if you're using a rod that's not very balanced, where you're fighting it back and forth to keep it balanced, then you're not going to feel that change as well. Also, if you're not using something with a high, this is IM8 graphite, which is, it's very, the sensitivity on it's very high. And using these sensitive, the more sensitive the rod, the more brittle it's going to be, and the better chance you have of, the durability not being as well. But I've kept, I think out of these, more sensitive 10-foot rods, I think I've only broke one. And the one that I broke, I won't name the company that I was using, because it wasn't the company's fault. That rod, I got the line hung in the trolling motor. I've only done it once. I got my line hung in the trolling motor, and it ended up popping the tip off. It didn't break the rod, but it popped the tip off. And I got me a new tip, popped it on there, and continued using it. And it broke. It was a 10-foot rod, medium light action, and very sensitive rod. If it wasn't for using those 10-foot sensitive rods and being able to just feel, because it wasn't a bite, it was just a change, we wouldn't have been as successful in the tournament as we was. But what happened was I was fishing maybe 10 foot of water, and the fish, it turned out it was a .94. We ended up weighing it in the tournament. But whenever the fish was probably setting in, we're in 10 foot of water, he's setting probably in like 4 foot. So when I set the hook, there wasn't a whole lot of give. That rod loaded up, and as soon as it did, it just went pop, and it broke. But I grabbed the line. I still got the fish in. And that's just, I'm not blaming it on the rod. Like I said, I didn't call the company and say, hey, send me one, but I was just tickled I caught fish with it. So, it just depends on what you're looking for. You can buy a rod that you can tie in a knot and it won't break, but you're not going to feel anything with it. It's going to be harder to catch fish. And my goal when I go out there is to catch fish. So I want to make sure that I'm using the best equipment to do that. So yeah, like that plays into our theme, how to catch these fish in the dog days of summer. And I would say that rule number 1 is you got to be out there. So catching fish in the dog days of summer, rule number 1, be out there. Hydrate, and make sure you're wearing the proper clothing. So, I wear long sleeve shirts because I don't like sunscreen. Keeps you from getting sunburnt. I like having the hood on it because with the hood, I'm able to keep, my neck and stuff from getting sunburnt, especially whenever I'm looking down at the Livescope. So, first things first, to catch fish in dog days summer, you got to be out there fishing. The next thing is, fish early and fish late. So get there early. You can beat a lot of the heat by getting there early, or fishing a late afternoon. It's got a lot of daylight hours, so those are 2 advantages. Is utilize that time. That way you're not out there during the hottest part of the day. Another thing that I've done is using, here we go. This is going to be a pretty good one here. Is use an aftermarket bubbler, or use your aerator. Make sure you're keeping water to it. But look at this here. So, and what had happened was the GoPro had done died on me, but my other camera kept on there. And this was, you could tell this is later in the afternoon, and caught just a really nice summertime crappie. And I was tickled with it. But yeah, if the bite gets finicky, go with a really sensitive rod. Use, sometimes you have to downsize, like it was on this day. I downsized baits, so just be prepared to be very versatile. Have several different profiles and have several different colors. That way you're able to give it a different presentation. But as we're wrapping this up, this I think is probably our last clip, and there's so much to really talk about, and just not enough time to do it. But you can see as that sun goes down, that's what's happening with this Livescope. I've changed nothing with the settings, but in the summer, for whatever reason, when the sun goes down, you get this clutter, and you can change your gain to change it a little bit, and there's a swing and a miss. Good fish come out there, but we're going to get back on them. But yeah, as the sun goes down, I've seen it'll be perfect as long as the sun goes down. You get this interference, and I'd say it's just something to do with the heat and atmosphere. But when you know, if you've looked at it enough, you can look through it. Like I said, you can turn your gain down, and you can turn some of that out of there, but it'll also be a little bit harder to see your bait. But here I go. Going to be another good fish. So I'm slinging it in there. Right there he is. This one here is probably, I'm going to get a picture of it. Its mouth wasn't really all that big, but it was just a big fat fish. And just another good one. I stuck it back in the water. No need in eating it. So check out our baits here. Remember to hit the subscribe, and we will talk to you in a week or two. Alright, so got some new products in, made a big order, and we're going to unbox them here. So this will be kind of cool. So we're going to start out with a big order I made from Southern Slab. I wanted several different colors, so I ordered a bunch of colors in 2 different profiles, and let's see what we got. And as always, very nice packaging. Ooh, look here. Oh, these are nice. So right off the bat, something really cool. Let's see if they got the color. It doesn't have the color on the package, but I believe it's some type of like electric, but it's like a pink and blue. So that is super cool. Oh, I think this is called the wintergreen, and it is in the slapper. So that is super cool. Ooh, got wintergreen. I believe that's the color they call it, wintergreen, in the carrot stick. So see that right there. You don't want to be on the camera? Do you see how awesome this looks?
How many total baits did you get?
A bunch. A whole bunch. Oh, that is super cool. So that's a little different. That is cool. I don't know what is necessarily different about these two, but I like them. Oh, that looks good. I mean, all of these. Look at these. These look super good. Do you not see how awesome the colors are? Oh, yeah, these two here go together.
What are those purple ones? I don't know that I've ever seen purple like that.
Which ones? Right here?
No.
This here?
The Barney purple.
Is that what we're going to rename? I think he calls it like electric something. But we're not going to call it electric anymore. It's going to be called Barney. So, it's Barney the dinosaur. So, Ryan, if you're watching, you need to rename that from, I think you could have it like electric something, like electric passion or something. I don't know what he's called it. But Alicia has renamed it to Barney. Oh, look at this, Alicia. Oh, that looks good. Look at that.
Christmas. should
They're
be.
not.
I should be a professional bait namer.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't think that they are. That looks really good right there. It's like watermelon crawl or something.
No, it's Christmas.
It's Christmas.
It's red and green.
These here can go. These here, they look good. Everything that I've pulled out so far looks good. I've not pulled out one that doesn't look good. And it's gonna catch fish. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm gonna catch a lot of fish on a lot of different colors. It's so natural. Look at this. Look at that. Are you leaving me?
That's
Why?
earthworm.
Earthworm. This is earthworm.
That's earthworm. I'm telling you, I should be a professional.
Earthworm. That is so stinking cool. Like, I'm just at awe at how cool it really stinking is. And these are awesome. They look good. They look really good. Like these colors. I'm kind of speechless. I really am. Like, this looks good. I'm gonna show you all this. I mean, and I'm gonna take some pictures. I'll be posting the pictures of this, but that is super cool. Let's see if we can't do kind of a close up of all of it there. I don't know if this is all the colors he has, but it's really close. I was like, I want options. And now I have them. Look at stinking this one here. I mean, my wife has named it Earthworm, so that's what we're gonna call it. It's dubbed Earthworm now. I don't know what he had it on the website. I should name that Barney. So Earthworm and Barney. I know that's dark matter. That looks so outlandishly cool. I love these oranges. Look how vibrant the orange color is in them. I mean, that is really good. So I guess these two are the same. So I need to, I can switch that out right there. Okay. Look at that. That is so cool though. I like that. I really like that. Looks good. Like all of them. This here? I mean, I love the different hint of like wintergreen that we have here. I'm telling you, this fish ain't gonna know what hit them. So.